We are back here, last game of the day. Florida Gators taking on Florida Atlantic University Owls. Todd, what do you think about this game?
I want to see Ole Madrid over there get out to the wire and start attacking. You know, from FAU, we watched them play a little bit, and, you know, they could either play aggressively or go to those really crappy small bunkers that I don't like. You know, they got a couple guys who want to get up the field.
You love those bunkers. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm telling you. Travis Madrid, I want to see him get up the field. He's lined up on the outside. We'll see if it goes. The Gators, you know, I've seen them, you know, the same thing. Play well, play silly, do stupid moves, you know, but this is for Florida right here, Maddie.
You got to put some team on your back, though.
You know what I mean? Got to put the whole state of Florida on my back. Is it the Gators?
All right, so on the left-hand portion of your screen right now, that is Florida Atlantic University, and the Gators are going to be on the right-hand portion of your screen. They have the traditional Gators, orange, blue, white, and the gray and blue is Florida Atlantic. Looking at the Gators right now, trying to push up on the snake side of the field.
Gator makes a big move on the Dorito side, goes from the back corner up to the 40 Dorito on the yellow. Play is mirrored by FAU, coming from that small Dorito, diving into the 40 yellow. Travis Madrid working down that wire, trying to protect him, going head-to-head with his mirror for Florida. Gators pushing up over here into the can on the snake side, but staring straight back at the back center for FAU. FAU also has the corner, and he takes off.
Kind of a slow.
I believe that's Vogel.
Kind of a slow point so far, Todd.
Yeah, slow point, but Vogel just dives into snake one, so he's looking to get some killing on. FAU, they got a player in that small little race bunker on the snake side. Actually, in both teams have a player in the small race bunker on the snake side, trying to lock off that Dorito side of the field, but
looking at Vogel right now in the snake for the Owls, and he bottom left-hand portion of your screen, and then there's
the first one to drop coming off the Florida Gators side out of that Madrid's mirror. And now Madrid's got a little bit more freedom. He can start bearing down on that Dorito side.
2-minute point so far as we crack the 8-minute mark, 7 minutes and 56 seconds remaining, and neither team, in fact, Todd, we've only seen one kill happen so far. Only one player has died for either team.
Yeah, both 40 Doritos being occupied.
So just the Florida Gators lose a body, and it looks like it was Matthew Chan who is going to take the walk for the Gators, and so the rest of his boys are still alive. And really, I'm kind of noticing this. I don't know why they're playing so tight. You know, this game is about taking ground. It's not about getting in your bunker and getting in a gunfight. I mean, obviously, you know, that's part of it, but when you're doing that, you're doing it for a cause. You know, you're doing it so that someone else can move up, or you can put yourself in a position where you can move up.
Yep.
You know, as we saw, you know, these guys should have, and they're already running out of paint 2 minutes into the game. Like, come on, that is inexcusable. How are you running out of paintballs 2 minutes into a match?
I don't know, but as he ran out of paint and dropped his zone, he lets his player get bunkered, opening up the door for Madrid to have that whole side of the field to himself. If Madrid plays smart, he can start rapping and shooting these Florida Gators to bits.
Yeah, and that back center is going to get taken out, Todd, just like you said. And then the next, looks like the center player, he runs to his death as well. And then the guy who ran out of paint 2 minutes into a match, he's going to take the walk as well. So all of a sudden, quick work being made of the Gators after a few crucial kills for Florida Atlantic. And they're going to take this first point here. But wow, that's a lot of time to suck off the clock here in the first point.
Yeah, Roque made a huge move to open up that game. You know, he got into that Dorito early. He got into the 40 Dorito early. You know, was played smart, was in there. He was alive. You know, dealt with the guy that was basically locking his zone off, which was that mini race bunker on the snake side of the field. The second that guy dropped his gun to have to go get paint, he went and bunkered out the Florida player and opened up that game.
And it's like you talked about, Todd, earlier, opening doors. But just because the door's open doesn't mean you're going to win that particular point. Sometimes you can open up the door on the field and close it yourself as well, or run through it. But a lot of times it's going to be one player makes a move, and then another player plays off that move, and it's the player playing off of the initial move which is going to be the dynamic action that wins that particular point. it's a seesaw battle back and forth. I mean, we're definitely talking about chess with guns. I know some people don't necessarily like that metaphor. I think it's a great metaphor because that's exactly what's happening out there.
No, it is, you know, and it's just like you have to make those moves instantaneously. You need to be constantly surveying, reading, listening, talking, and taking that information and processing it, you know, and then making those chess moves instantly. So, I mean, I think it's a great metaphor. I mean, you have, you know, this sport, you know, I've said this before, this sport is different from any other sport because in every other sport there's one ball. And all the players on the field, they can follow the ball, and the game moves with the ball. Well, in paintball, everybody has the ball, you know, and there's thousands and thousands of them. And the game can break from anywhere. Everybody has the opportunity to make that big move and open up the game for their team or on an individual basis. But, I mean, you want to do it, you know, with communicating, with good information, and, you know, as a team.
But that's what's so exciting about paintball, man. I mean, yeah, you're right. Everyone has the ball. That's what it makes it such a dynamic activity. And it really, it puts you in a very intense moment in your life where nothing else is on your mind. You are completely and utterly locked into that moment of experience.
Yeah, Matty.
And that's why it's so addictive.
The Gators are experiencing a penalty right now because their pod picker-upper guy was still on the field when the horn blew. So they lost a body on the break, and then they got another guy pulled for their pod guy being on the field. But FAU gives it right back as Vogel comes walking off the field along with Montalvo. So they give the advantage right back, and the mini race bunker player gets shot in the face. He's coming off. Both players running towards the Dorito side for FAU, but those are the last guys they got left. The Gators just need to come down the snake side of the field.
Yeah, and
do it intelligently.
Talk about seesaw battles, man. I mean, as you're looking on your screen right now, and that's the line. This is Florida Gators pressing upfield, trying to take out the last two players on the Dorito side of the field for the Owls, and it looks like goes to sleep on it. Is that Madrid, Todd? Yeah, it's Madrid. Travis Madrid is still alive, and he's the only player alive, I believe, and it's a 2-on-1 situation, so the Gators have a one-body advantage.
Almost a one-on-one. Madrid shot the player off the Dorito side, but then the other guy came out of the box. Oh, nope, he just came back to life. He was sleeping on that Dorito side of the field.
So it's Kung over here. Oh, and Travis gets taken out. So it's gonna, this point is going to go to the University of Florida, and they're going to tie it up at one apiece here in the Battle of the Floridians.
So you had that last player come out of the box. Florida not letting the penalty hurt them and able to burn off some of the time on that penalty. So they should be coming back out strong 5-on-5.
Yeah, and anybody's game at this point. Let's check out this replay here. And you're looking at this Florida Atlantic player here. And boom, he just looks a little to the right and ends up taking one directly in his face. So not helping his team out there by dying out of his bunker. So tomorrow we have the matchups are already set for the semifinals. Well, we're still working on one part of that puzzle right now, as the winner of this match is going to be playing Nebraska. But the first game is going to be Liberty versus Cal State. And it's interesting because I talked to, you know, Nick Tossi, and he had said how, he really wanted to play teams out of his division. Cal State is. All right, let's check out this replay. So this is Travis Madrid, and he is in this bunker, but his bunkers are staked down. And when you're really pushing super hard against them, sometimes you have and we haven't seen this yet, this event, but it does happen on a rare occasion, and you know that bunker falls over, and he actually got out of there clean. That's not why he got shot. I mean, he did have to make a move, though.
Yeah, he got to get out of there. I mean, it was a 3-on-1. I thought it was a 2-on-1. The player came out of the box, but you know, Florida still had that guy on the Dorito side, able to push right into it. And you know, those are the things you can't lose. You know, we saw that last game where, you know, the UConn kept pushing into Zach Sherman's gun, and he just chopped him up one by one, and it turned to 5-on-2 into a Zach Sherman versus nobody right before the end of that first half.
So with our score 1-1, under 5 minutes to play here in the first half. So the winner of this match is going to be playing Nebraska Omaha, and that's going to be a tall order for either one of these teams. As at this point, I would have to say that the favorite in the event is definitely Nebraska, and that's the game we had just watched previously.
Yeah, I'm excited to see those games too. You know, I want to see what Liberty's all about. I want to see what Cal State's all about. You know, when they play, when they meet up. You know, and then of course the University of Omaha just dominant.
Dominating. I mean, just the absolute definition of domination.
Yeah.
Really, especially I mean, they are all playing well. But Brian really had a field day today.
Yeah, Brian just went off. You know, dude got buck nutty, came out here and just went on a killing spree, and was just lopping heads off left and right. I mean, like he had a couple. Cuba.
Yeah, exactly. He had a couple points where at one point he went out and got 4 kills. Then the next time he goes out and gets 3 kills. Then he had a 2-packer on the next point after that. I mean, that's amazing. You know, that doesn't happen on a regular basis. Yeah, dropping the hammer at the end of it too. Yeah. It was very impressive. And you know, I mean, we're talking about kill counts and stuff. If you guys go to paintballaccess.com, you're going to see all the statistics for the event that's about to come up here in a week. Next weekend, April 19th through the 22nd, we have the PSP webcast coming from Phoenix. Me and Todd and Chris are going to be on that one as well. All right, so here our score, 1-1. Florida Atlantic taking on Florida Gators. 4 minutes and 41 seconds to go. We'll be back after a few messages. Do not go anywhere.
Welcome back to the National Collegiate Paintball Championships here in Lakeland, Florida. We have Florida and FAU tied 1-1 in the first half of our final match today. And behind me here, Florida and FAU are in FAU's pit. Now, you wouldn't normally see this, but Florida's air tank in their pit has gone out, so they sent him over here. And this is actually okay because these guys are all friends. They hang out off the paintball field, even though Gainesville and Boca Raton are kind of far from each other. But they are guys that really know each other well, and it's one of those things, too, where they scrimmage all the time. So they said that while on the field, they really are competitive. Off the field, they're good friends. All right, we'll come back with more from this match. Florida FAU tied 1-1 after this break.
All right, so you're looking at the air station right now, getting filled up. Both teams having to do double duty over there, and you know it's a lot of resources that go into making a paintball event happen. I mean, you know these guns are operating on high pressure air systems. There's 4,500 psi in those tanks. It is the fuel for the fire for the guns, along with battery powered electronics, and these guns are anywhere between $800 to $2,000 each, depending on how trick your kit is. And here we go. Let's see what is going to happen here. Is it's all tied up and one apiece, and 4 minutes and 33 seconds left to play in the first half, Todd.
Yeah, that Florida player just got blown to bits trying to run up the snake side of the field to that can. He got eaten up from, I think, across the field. Madrid, I believe, ran to that can looking towards the snake side. 2 bodies came off the field right away for Florida, and now this is the first time we've really seen FAU go into attack mode.
Yeah, Vogel getting into snake 1, and he's just laying down in there, he's listening to his coach, and then as we scan to the other side of the field, and look at that, one of the Gators getting shot off that Dorito side of the field, which allows Madrid to come up here in the center. And you're looking at Wilson. He's getting checked out by the referee. It looks like he's clean, and Wilson is on the snake side, and they're trying to stop Vogel's attack over here, and Gators continuing to fall from their bunkers and just getting eaten up by Vogel and the rest of the FAA crew.
You walk there, you have the breakout, and then you have your mid game, and then you have your end game, your end game finishing moves. How come nobody's been like, you know what Brian Bortles doing? He's shooting people from that side. Then he's going up the middle of that temple, or he's going to the Xbox. FAU shoots 2 guys on the break.
Well, talk us through this right here, Todd.
Well, see, you have Vogel, who was a little hesitant, to get into that 50 snake, but ended up getting there. The last Florida player, kind of feeling the pressure coming from all sides, just leans out and gives Vogel his goggles and his loader and his whole upper torso pretty much as he surrenders and gets blown to bits.
So the score is now 2-1 in favor of Florida Atlantic. And I believe Florida Atlantic was telling me that they usually get beat by Florida. So it would be kind of cool for them to see them pull this off. A ton of game left, though. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play here in the first half as we are in the last game of the day. But we have more paintball coming at you here on the webcast. And we have Liberty's going to be playing Cal State. And like I was saying, I talked to Nick Tossi, and he was like, look, man, we have to play guys in our own divisions, which is cool and everything, as we'll play anyone that's put in front of us, but I really want to play some of these other teams. I want to play Cal State. I'd love to play Nebraska, and I'll tell you what, they're going to get their wish tomorrow morning.
Well, he better bring his A game, because those Long Beach guys have gotten better throughout this event. I've watched them play. They're really just beating, they beat the crap out of Ohio a couple times, but, the way that they beat them, and the way that they beat the other teams that they've played, I mean, it's just been, they've constantly been learning, trying new stuff. I talked to their coach, John Millman, a former professional player on Excessive, and he's figuring out this field. He's putting his guys in good spots to have success, and, it's paying off for them, and their confidence is actually really high right now as well.
Yeah, and they look really well, but it's interesting that just an injury report from those 2 teams that we're going to see play each other tomorrow. The 2 best snake players, Todd, on Liberty and Cal State are both slightly injured. The severity of their injuries is kind of still up in the air as Nick Tossi hyperextended his elbow not too long ago. And then for Cal State, Chris Tregarthen potentially may have broken his hand. So we'll see how that is actually going to play out tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Tregarthen, he looked pretty good today. He was definitely injured. You can see it. But, he was all up in that center A, just wheeling and dealing players down today. It's kind of fun to watch. And
penalty. You saw that yellow flag fly in the air. That's a minor penalty flag. A red one would have meant a major. So that is not going to help the Gators, Todd.
That's going to be on number 8, Thomas Irby. And here comes Olay Madrid.
And Irby is one of the leaders on the squad for Florida Gators. And you do not want your leaders getting penalties on a regular basis. So we've seen a pretty relatively free penalty-free day, honestly. We haven't really seen a ton of crazy penalties.
No, actually, you know, and that's nice to see. You know, you haven't seen anybody. I mean, I haven't seen anybody. I don't watch a lot of paintball, you know, just blatantly cheating out there. I haven't seen it.
What do you mean you don't watch a lot of paintball? You probably watch more paintball than anyone on earth.
Exactly. You know, I watch a lot of paintball, and, you know, I haven't seen anybody out here just blatantly cheating, which is awesome, you know, because that is one thing that really drives me nuts, you know. You got to earn it out here, you know. If you're going to make it to the top, you're not going to get there, you know, by cheating the system. You need to work hard. You know, you got to educate yourself on the game and how it works, you know, and watch great players play and learn from them and talk to them. And, you know, coming out here and cheating, you know, nobody ever wins. And it's nice to see, you know, some nice, fair, honest competition, you know, out here. And the referees' flags really haven't been flying, you know, except for, you know, pack hits and the ones that you don't see, you know, but you still have to get a penalty for. So, I mean, it's been a good thing, a good event. You know, the referees have been doing a great job. So,
yeah, the referees have definitely been on it here. And we're at the NCPA Paintball Championships here on Fox College Sports. I'm Matty Marshall. I'm up here with Todd Martinez. And we've watched some crazy paintball so far this weekend. And it's been exciting, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. We're still going to have to see who's going to win this matchup, as Florida Atlantic looks pretty solid right now as they're beating the Gators. But, you know, there's still so much time on this clock that it's really anyone's match at this point. But like I was saying earlier, Liberty's going to be taking on Cal State in the morning. Very much looking forward to that match, as both of those teams have some stellar snake players, though they are potentially injured with the hand injury to Chris Tregarthen and the elbow injury to Nick Tossi. And then Nebraska is going to play the winner of this game, but we're going to be back in just a few moments. Do not go anywhere.
Things to do with Empire paintballs. You can paint a picture. You can paint a fence. You can paint your friend. But know that the paint will not remain, and Empire Paintball strives to reduce the impact of paintballs on the environment. Our RPS Advanced Formula Fill materials are all listed on the GRAS, Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act list, and will not negatively affect drinking water, water table, or the field environment. Shoot the best, and know that Empire Paintball works hard to protect our planet.
We're back in Lakeland, Florida for the National Collegiate Paintball Championships. We've got an in-state battle, Florida and FAU. FAU has taken the lead 3-1 over Florida. And hey, Chaz Riggleman from the Gators just got a penalty, but it's because he threw his pod in the air and his pod got shot. Now, if your pod is on the ground, you're fine. But his Florida teammates are saying, hey, man, don't be throwing your pods in the air. Maddie, has this happened to you before? Have you seen guys doing this as rookies that maybe shouldn't be doing that because you could avoid a penalty if you just keep your pods on the ground?
Well, not that particular thing has ever happened to me, though. I was in a tournament in the semifinals once, and my buddy, I was in the same bunker with some guy. He gets shot, the paint sprays onto me, and then I get called out for it. So that was probably one of the crappiest calls that I've ever had to deal with. But hey, man, it's crazy out there. It does happen. And right now, let's see if Florida Atlantic University can continue to put some more points up on Florida. And Florida's going to have to scrap back to get into this matchup. Both teams 5 strong.
Yeah, and FAU went into hider mode. Vogel stays in the back center, shooting on the break. The only guy coming out to the snake side for FAU goes to that mini race bunker in the middle of the field and starts locking off the Dorito side. So Madrid shooting across the field in that yellow can on the Dorito side towards the snake, you know, crossing it up with his teammate, and then split guns in the back center, one out wide to the Dorito side. This tells me that they're trying to sit on this lead with 1:45 left to go.
Yeah, I don't know about that, though. You know, I'm not a big fan of sitting on 2-point leads. It's not enough of a lead. And if you lose the point, then you're only going to be up 1. I mean, that's a lead, but, you know, with the whole second half to play, I mean, you want to be letting its team know what you're here to do.
Well, I didn't say I was excited about it. But Vogel makes his way out to the corner and up and across. Even though they lost one body, FAU still with the 4-man advantage, looking at, I believe there's only 2 remaining Gators on the field. Trying to lock down their own sides, respectively, from the, and the snake side gets one in the face. Does the slow Dave Baines walk off.
Still 2 left, though. They're just,
oh, there he is.
They're just hiding.
Super hiding. See, this is the situation that these guys constantly end up in. Their wide guys die, and then they're in these tiny little race bunkers trying to fight out of them.
Which you can't do.
You end up getting skulled, you know?
I thought that's your favorite spot, Todd.
You know what? I kind of want to go there.
We were walking in, you were like, oh, man, I would go right here. There's just so much work you can do from this bunker.
You know, Maddie, 100%. This is where it's going down from right here.
Oh, look at this craziness happening on the Dorito side of the field. You see the top portion of your screen. Look at this, though, move. Nice move by Travis Madrid. It looks like he finally got shot, though, getting to the very back bunker, but Vogel's going to be able to finish off the last player for the Gators, and it's going to be yet another point for FAU.
That's my dude Madrid right there.
Yeah.
The dude's everywhere. He was all the way over on that Dorito side of the field, ends up at the A, comes across, sees the Florida player take off to go bunker his teammate, and just took off the opposite direction.
Wow, hangs it right as time expires in the first half. So we will head to the second half with the score gonna be 4-1. All right, but let's check out a replay right here. And you're looking at this, and it's the Gators, and they're stuck in those little bunkers, Todd, just like you're talking about. You can't do anything there. Yeah, it's hard to get out wide. Their wide guys are getting chopped up, and then here comes Travis Madrid. He launches from that center A, runs this player down. He tries to get a shot on him, which he can't. Lucky for him, he didn't get a penalty, and then Madrid gets clipped just as he gets into the very back bunker on the Gator side of the field. But, you know, awesome job so far by Florida Atlantic to extend their lead. We're going to be back with the second half action. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez and Laura McKeeman. Do not go anywhere.
Things to do with Empire paintballs. You can paint a picture. You can paint a fence. You can paint your friend. But know that the paint will not remain, and Empire Paintball strives to reduce the impact of paintballs on the environment. Our RPS Advanced Formula Fill materials are all listed on the GRAS, Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act list, and will not negatively affect drinking water, water table, or the field environment. Shoot the best, and know that Empire Paintball works hard to protect our planet.
my child sees this, she's gonna be like, what the were you doing? I'm trying to feed you, baby. Chop, please.
Just think, somewhere, some poor kid is playing a video game.
All right, so the score is a 4-1 in favor of Florida Atlantic University, and they're taking down the Gators right now. We still have a whole second half of play. These halves are 10 minutes long, and then after 2 halves, the highest scored end of regulation, that is going to be our victor, and the winner of this match is going to move on to play Nebraska-Omaha tomorrow. Already in the semifinal competition tomorrow is going to be Liberty and Cal State. I'm very much looking forward to both of those matchups.
Yeah, I can't wait to see both of those too. Should be good. Under 1 second. Start the second half. Last game of the day. Florida running straight up and down. Doesn't even dive into the Dorito corner. Fills another one out to that tall temple right away.
Yeah,
And comes hard towards the snake side. Looking to be aggressive. I like it. I like the look here from Florida. FAU all across the back line. Sitting back shooting their guns, but they moved out rather quickly last time.
Yeah,
going to be a little bit tougher now.
Both teams 5 strong and relatively conservative breakout from Florida Atlantic, Todd, but they do have that lead.
Yeah, they do. They know that they don't have to go anywhere, but I like this setup a lot better than when they go to those little race bunkers in the middle of the field, because then you know they're getting locked up and they're trying not to go anywhere. Now they're in good positions to make moves if they need be, but they can still lock off the lanes if they need to keep Florida Atlantic at bay.
Yeah, so, yeah, well, I was going to say, Gators need to get some aggression going. They're only down 3 with 9 minutes left, though, but they play these really long, drawn-out points, and they're going to start running out of time.
Yeah, number 17 running off the field right now, John Briggleman, 6'1", 160, front player from Florida. Gets smoked down.
6'1", 160 is pretty skinny.
Yeah, well, he looked about 5'11" from right here. So FAU in those spots, bumped up to the Dorito 1, just hammering their guns. You can see them, all of them, a lot of them on their knees, not really looking to go anywhere.
Yeah, and that's fine if you're Florida Atlantic, but if you're the Gators, you know, like look at their players over on the Dorito side of the field. Right now you're looking at Florida Atlantic. But if we can get a shot, look at the top portion of your screen right now. Okay, there, finally making a move. That's great, but for a long time he was just on double knees. You know, double knees, locked up in a gunfight, and you know, now they've clocked off 2 minutes off the time for this first point, and they're down 3. They have to play a little more aggressive than this.
Yeah, they do. The first thing that Florida's Dorito player did when he ran into that corner was get on his knees and start shooting towards the snake side. You know, these guys need to be playing straight ahead and working together. Those 2 players on the Dorito side for Florida need to be working together, shooting straight ahead and moving up the field. As FAU tries to make a move into that 50 Dorito, he gets chopped up. I believe Madrid is still alive over there in the Dorito 1. He was the backup. And here comes Florida finally into Dorito 2.
Well, Todd, this could be the hole that the Gators have been looking for, because they very much need this point. If they win this point, they make it a 2-point match, and with probably looking at the clock, I'd say this is probably gonna be another minute in this point. Really depends on if these guys have any paint left, because that you want to slow a point down, have everyone run out of paint.
Yeah, well, big man there in the back center for Florida, he needs to get up the field. You know, as Florida Atlantic loses another player, now he especially needs to get up the field. Get out of that back center and get some support. Snake player right here in front of us.
What's stopping this guy right now? Like, what is he doing? Nothing is stopping him. No one's shooting at him still. Nobody's shooting at him. Yeah. Why is he stopping at this bunker? He doesn't have a shot from there. Wilson has got to keep going. There's still nobody shooting at Wilson.
Yeah,
and then
Florida
now
Gators is still in the back center. You got 3 players up front, and the Gators back center player is still in the back center. That is not like, you don't just stay in the back center. You are the guy that reads the field, and once your wide players get wide, if they can't go anywhere, then you're the dude that has to make the read and make the move move up the center.
Absolutely.
You know, you see how fast it happens with guys like Brian Bortle and Zach Sherman, you know? Like Zach was saying in the interview, it's like, you know, guys shoot guns and then we make reads and we go. You know, we understand it, and, you know, that's what, you know, teams like Florida aren't really doing. You know, those guys need to read it and, you know, make those moves. So.
Well, let's check out the replay. I'm hoping this is the replay from Wilson. So Wilson is in the snake, and okay, he gets a great shot on his mirror, so great job there, and he clears out that side. Okay, so that guy comes out. Now, you notice there's no one shooting at him. Nobody's shooting at him. Nothing stopping him from moving all the way down the field. You want to take as much ground as the opposing team is going to give you. So if no one's going to shoot at you, don't stop. That's why you see guys like Bortle running all over the place, and they're doing that, and they're running. Their eyes are up, and what they're looking for is somebody to engage with them. And if nobody engages with them, no one shoots at them, then why are they going to stop?
Yeah, and we're not saying just go book down the field and skip every bunker, but go with your head up, your gun up to the 50.
Yes.
Check it off. Nobody still, keep going. You know, cut it inside. Head towards the that tall temple, or keep going down the snake. Dive into the next snake knuckle. Get a look from there. Keep your eyes up. Keep your head up.
But it's those little things, Todd. I mean, that is the difference between a good player and a great player. A good player will shoot his mirror out and then start kind of trying to search to see what he should do. And he did a good job. That he was a good player. He shot his mirror out, and he ended up winning the point. And ultimately, that's, you want to win the point. That's the most important thing. But why not elevate your game? And also, you constantly got to be thinking, because, you know, these guys are always trying to prove they want to win for their teams and for their hometowns and for their home states and for their schools, then they got to get better.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you shoot your mirror out, the great players already know where the next player is and start shooting at him before the team gets a chance to react.
All right, so on the breakout, looking at the Gators on your screen right now. Again, the Gators are in the orange and blue and white. Florida Atlantic in the gray and blue.
And here is FAU going into that lockout mode play. Going to those two center bunkers in the yellow zone and crossing up, shooting across the field.
Oh, and look at this. Florida Atlantic player coming off that backside on the Dorito out of that blue zone. You're looking at two players in the yellow zone for Florida Atlantic. They only have 4 players left alive. As far as the body count is concerned, they are down 1, and the Gators at 5 bodies strong. So they're only down by 2 now, and with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left, they need to get up the field. You're looking at the Gators right now, 2 players in that yellow zone. And look at the body language on the player closest to us here, the bottom right-hand portion of your screen. There it is, makes that move.
Yeah, you can't let these guys, I mean, FAU, now finally Madrid bails out of there, but I mean, in those spots, they start to feel the pressure. You got to put that pressure on them, you know, and make them feel that pressure so they got to get out of there, you know, or get pinched out. So, I mean, some coordinated shots, you know, some coordinated efforts, you know, amongst the Florida players would go such a long way for these guys, but I mean, they let FAU players, you know, kind of bail them out a little bit, but shoot another one, blocking off the field, and another one out of that middle.
Oh, here comes the Gators, maybe. You're looking at Irby, who's getting bird dog hard by the opposing coach. I don't know if we can get a shot of that. He's just jumping up down on the sidelines. Now he's running back.
Yeah.
See, those are the coaches. You're looking right now. The coaches for the college paintball, the coaches literally stand right on the sideline and joystick their players around.
Look at Kung. He was going to grab that flag and go running in. Realized that Madrid was still in that Dorito. Turned and gave him a fadeaway shot on his way to the flag, or on his way to the flag station.
So we got ourselves a 1-point match now. And Todd, this is what I was hoping to see. You know, of course, we want to watch close matches. I want to watch bloody knuckles, really close paintball matches. I mean, yeah, it's great to see University of Nebraska Omaha play as flawlessly as they did and put up a gigantic number like 13 points. But, you know, that's just not as entertaining as watching two teams for Florida's throw down for some respect. And right now it's still looking obviously in favor of Florida Atlantic, but the Gators are just slowly but surely starting to dig back into this. Todd, talk me through this replay.
All right, what we have here is the snake player for Florida in that 50.
It's Irby.
Vogel shooting down the wire. Back up a little bit here. Try to get a shot on the inside as players start coming down the Dorito side of the field for Florida. able to shoot Vogel out and open up the way for Irby in that 50 snake and let his players come through the middle, get that flag. So
all right, so we've been chatting for a while up here, and I'm sure our third member of our broadcast team, Laura, is down there trying to seek out some information for us like she does so well, other than look flawless. Laura, how are you doing down there?
Don't be talking about yourself with the looking flawless thing.
No,
I know that's for you.
I was trying to talk about you.
I appreciate it.
It's been a long day. I know you're probably tired down there.
It's getting a little hot down here. I have to be honest with you, guys.
Are you
it's
saying
also
you're hot?
hot.
Are you saying you're hot? You are
No.
so conceited.
No,
You
no,
are
no, no,
so
no. I'm
conceited.
glistening.
Yes,
I'm a little sweaty.
Oh, okay. All right.
Guys, FAU's coach coming off just now saying we have to avoid going up the middle so much. And I know you guys have said the middle and the center is an area where people can have success, but FAU feels they're not having that success there. They want to try to change things up a little bit and use the snake and Dorito side a little more. So we should look for that coming here in the next few points and see if they actually go with that, guys.
Can you
I mean,
pass a
I don't know
message
if
on
you
to
had a
that
camera
guy?
on our reactions to that, but I mean, we're just in stunned disbelief. Did they watch Brian Bortle play paintball today? I mean, have they seen how useful?
I think you have to be a Brian Bortle type player, though, and they feel like they're not having that success. They feel like Florida is getting in on their wires.
Rubbish.
And that's what they don't want to see.
Rubbish. Todd, please break this down for
Can
him.
you go pass a message on to the Florida Atlantic coach? Say, you're wrong. The problem is that they keep going to the crappy bunkers in the middle of the field. They're going to that stupid can on the Dorito side of the field and that crappy little tiny wedge race bunker on the snake side of the field and trying to cross it up. But did Brian Bortle, how many times did Brian Bortle go to that little mini wedge, you know, and stand over the top of it and shoot a bunch of people and lock out the Dorito side?
Get
Never.
4 kills.
You know,
no, he didn't go
went
that
to
spot.
the tall temple over here. He went to the Xbox, and then he went through to their tall temple. You know,
yeah,
it's
he's going to the good bunkers out there. Don't go to the little tiny baby-sized bunkers. Go to the man-sized bunkers and do work from there. That's just frustrating to hear.
I mean,
so
and
frustrating to hear.
who is Brian Bortle killing? You know, he's going to that to the tall temple or the Xbox. The Xbox has great shots on both sides of the field. I've been down there. Me and Maddie went and walked the field. You can stand right at the Xbox,
which is the bunker directly behind the center 50 in the middle area.
Sorry, we got the X for a long time, cut it in half cents.
Yeah,
you know, now it's the A.
Yeah.
But, you know, the little cake right behind the A, you can stand right up next to it. And from there, you have a great view of all the bunkers on the wires. So if you're, you know, basically standing with your knees against the bunker, you can have your gun straight in front of you and still be able to see both wires. And we saw Tregarthen do that so well.
Yeah.
You know, several points in a row. People can do anything about it. Has anybody stopped Brian Bortle yet? No. Hey, coach from FAU, you're fired, or you need to start reconsidering your game plans, all right? Because the center of this field is awesome.
Yeah.
But he just sent a guy back to that little silly little race wedge bunker again, too, who's going to attempt to lock off the Dorito side of the field. So, sorry, Laura.
And scene. All right, so you're looking at FAU right here. Again, really just kind of conservative breakouts for them, and they're only up by 1 right now, so they're doing a good job at least at this point. They were able to kill two players off the Gators so far, which now you're looking at the Gators. Now we're back on FAU, Florida Atlantic University, and I don't know if they're just going to chill out in their bunkers. It looks like that's what they're going to do. It looks like they're just going to roll their guns and try to eat the clock off. I don't really think that's the smartest game plan. Look at that, Todd. They're getting shot out of that little tiny bunker, that race bunker in the center of the field aggressively, and they're focused on that, trying to make something happen, and which is fine. That's going to happen, but I would rather see the game go down where the kills are coming from the moves and not coming from poor gunfight decisions.
Yeah.
So let's check out this replay here. So this is the replay, FAU on the right-hand side right there. That's David Roque, and he's going to take off, and the big man can move. Nice job, and those are the kills. That's what I'm talking about. So the last kill did come that way, but those are the easy ones to get the run-throughs on. But how that happened is you see Lowry coming off. But you know, FAU now goes up 2 with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left, and you know, we've seen a lot of slow points. I don't think that Gators have 2 1-minute points in them right now.
Yeah,
I would love to see it because we could see our first overtime matchup so far in this event. However, you know, these guys aren't utilizing the lanes in the field which can be conducive. Now they do know what can happen out there if they run up the front. Now, okay, let's see this replay. This is the other angle of it. So you're looking at the Gators player there. He's locked in his zone. He's shooting towards the snake side of the field.
Everything's good.
And then all of a sudden, but look at that though, Todd. This is a good little quick paintball 101 tip. Lowry is that bunker. I don't know, actually, if we could even rewind that. You're looking at a situation where Lowry's in that bunker, right? And now he is looking directly to the snake side, but as soon as the guy shot the bunker that was coming to get him, he shot the bunker, and as soon as you hear the bunker shot, Lowry turned his gun. Do not do that. If you're going to bunker somebody, when you pull the trigger, you need to shoot them. You don't want to shoot the bunker, because if you shoot the bunker, it's a really loud sound, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, I'm coming.
Hey, here I go. You know what? If you're not really liking the center of that field that much, FAU keeps going to that little wedge, shooting across the field. They get one kill on the break.
Well, here we go.
Florida tries to go a little far.
Weird. Okay, they send somebody. This every single time, and they got teams wait till the very last brutal end of the game to start sending players up to the center. But look what happens. Have we seen a guy get shot going into the A off the break, the 50-yard line yet today? I don't think so.
I've seen players run straight there. I've seen guys run and dive and get in there. I mean, not a whole lot of people are getting shot going up that center of the field. So Florida finally up in there and in the 40 Dorito now, in the yellow Dorito, trying to go to work, but FAU just dug in with two bodies, you know, low on the ground. This is the time where that Gator needs to recognize nobody's shooting at me. It's time to start going down the middle of the field. You know, if you're there, Irby, and you're not getting anything, you know, keep rapping, keep rapping. Nobody's shooting at you.
And you have
keep rapping.
Keep rapping. Nobody's shooting at you. Maybe you could launch Irby up there in the center left-hand portion of your screen. And now FAU gets into snake one. And Vogel. And here comes. Wow, Gators just wilding out though. That's what I'm talking about. They need to do something. And players falling for FAU. And here comes the Gators trying to put another point on the board as quick as they can. But there's just craziness going back and forth. Irby is still alive though, and he gets a shot on him, so he's going to tie it up. Potentially could tie it up here. No, there's a one-on-one situation right now with Madrid and Irby, and now Irby realizes he runs right past the flag though.
Oh, Irby.
Irby, you have to hang the flag.
Irby, you got to make that move with your gun up. You got to be sure about it. Madrid,
he needs to just slow walk in and make sure there's not enough time. And you know, if the Gators should be conceding this point, not
going to be enough time.
Not going to be enough time.
Florida clock management. You know, it's in this game that we play here. I mean, clock management is so crucial. We have seen so many mental mistakes made by coaches and players. You know, it's just when the time's down and you're down points, you got to make some moves quick. You know, if somebody gets a penalty and they're in the box and they're slow walking it in, blow the buzzer. You know what I mean? These are things that you need to know about the game, you know, that coaches need to know, you know, to help their team, you know, give them an advantage or give them an opportunity to win. But,
yeah,
I mean, running out there and you know, waiting till 45 seconds to make a push when you're down 2 points is just not going to get it done.
Yeah, let's check out a replay real quick here. And you're looking at the last crazy part of this point. Vogel gets shot looking over the top of that snake one.
Silly.
Yellow zone bunker, and that's not the way to do it. But this is, look at Irby trying to run down Travis Madrid. And the Gators.
Drop your gun?
Yeah, I don't know. He's pointing, and I don't understand. I mean, I totally understand the aggression, and Irby, good job, man. Way to do that. But, you know, you got to make sure you get that shot in, but it was a little bit too much Travis Madrid for Irby, so that's going to be our final. So look at this. Florida Atlantic University. I believe I talked to the Florida Atlantic. I want to say it was Florida, not the Gators, and they said they don't usually beat Florida. So for Florida Atlantic to move on is pretty awesome for them, and they're going to have a giant, you're looking at Travis Madrid there, full runnings.
You know what they say, revenge is a dish best served at the NCPA.
Absolutely.
In Lakeland.
In Lakeland, yeah. So Nebraska Omaha is going to be playing FAU tomorrow, as well as Liberty versus Cal State. So lots of great paintball in the semifinals here at the NCPA Championships. That's going to be happening tomorrow morning, so be sure to tune in for that. And I can't wait for those games. I'm really looking forward to that Liberty Cal State game because, you know, Nick Tozzi was really specific about wanting to play Cal State, and I can't wait to see Chris Tregarthen and Nick Tozzi step it up and fight each other. You know, that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that game. And then let's see how amazing Brian Bortle can play tomorrow and see if he can top today's performance. I don't know if he can. We'll see, though. So you're looking at our victors, or actually you're looking at the losers there from that last matchup. So final score here, last game of the day, Florida Atlantic 6, Florida 3. I'm Maddie Marshall, and on behalf of Todd Martinez, Laura McKeeman, Chris Lasoya, and Kevin Catfish are still in the rest of our broadcast crew. Thank you guys for tuning in, and be sure to tune in tomorrow for the semifinal action here at the NCPA Championships. See you then.